This is the new BMW iX. It represents a new era of sustainability for BMW and is basically the company's first step in achieving 50% global market share in electric car sales by 2030. Globally, there are only two variants of the BMW iX, and in Malaysia, we're only getting this, the xDrive40. And I must say, in the very short time that I've had it, it's been a very interesting, mindset-changing experience. Let's first talk about how it looks. First of all, for some reason, in my eyes, I think it looks better in pictures. Like most new BMWs, it also gets the highly debated vertical kidney grille and brake lights that make certain parts of your body feel fuzzy when you unlock the car. I'll tell you what, driving this thing around, I've noticed people literally turning their heads to check out what car this is. I even drove past a new BMW M3 the other day and the guy sitting in it was just staring at me. I don't know what's in their mind. It could be, whoa, look at this car, or, ooh, what's that thing? Personally, I think this kidney grille design with its covered look instead of the conventional holes is a lot easier on the eye. But it's not just a design thing. Not only does it allow air to flow past the car a lot smoother, it also covers and shields all the fancy radars, cameras and sensors hidden underneath here. But it's not so simple. BMW made these 3D designs using all sorts of fancy plasma and laser cutters for the perfect thickness to allow the sensors and cameras to work properly behind this cover. This covered grille also comes with a self-healing quality where a coating applied to it can automatically heal the stone chips when the car is parked under the sun. It's quite environmentally friendly as well. BMW says each iX contains 60 kilograms of recycled plastic. There's barely any chrome used, while the leather is tanned with olive leaf extracts. The floor covers and mats are made from recycled fishing nets. But that's not all. BMW claims that the electric motors used to drive the front and rear wheels do not require rare earth materials to manufacture, but instead uses electromagnetic fields for more instant and responsive acceleration. In terms of size and dimensions, it's similar to the BMW X5, and in their words, it combines the functionality of the X5, the dynamism of the X6, and the visual impact of the X7. I don't know about all that, but if you ask me, I think it looks quite proportionate and there are a few quirks on the exterior as well. Take the front badge for example that opens up for you to refill water for the windscreen washer, the flush door handles, the rear view camera with a cleaning system, and together with the front grille that covers the sensors is what BMW calls Shy-Tech. BMW says it's a technology that stays in the background and only becomes apparent when the systems are called into action. The exterior also features a few optional items that come as standard, like the 21-inch wheels which are designed to reduce drag and weigh less than conventional lightweight wheels. The iX also comes with the optional titanium bronze trims by BMW Individual on the door handles, rear diffuser, front grille that just gives the car a very unique, futuristic look. While the skeleton is made of aluminium, most of the flesh is made of carbon fiber, like on the sides, the roof, the bonnet, and other less obvious areas. And all that forms a carbon cage, and the BMW iX is the first to get it. It's an evolution of the carbon core technology found in the current BMW 7 Series for a light but strong body. In the words of BMW's Vice President of Design, we designed the car from the inside out, and in the process, we took particular care to create a modern, warm and minimalist interior. I think they've done exactly that. And you know what? It's very airy as well. Not just above your head, but by your feet. There are plenty of storage spaces and more charging ports than you will ever need. Remember the Shy-Tech concept I talked about earlier? The same is applied in the cabin. This is to ensure that the cabin doesn't look cluttered, to offer a place of relaxation. The speakers are flush and so are the air vents. Even the head-up display projector is neatly tucked away. There are some controls by the door, but the most interesting has to be this, that opens the doors, and each time that happens, you're reminded of how cool frameless windows are. And in case that doesn't work, there's a manual door pull underneath. The iX also debuts the first ever BMW curved display, with the clearest display in any BMW today, while a single-piece glass covers two displays powered by the latest BMW operating system 8. And I think it's one of the most user-friendly and intuitive interfaces of any car I've ever reviewed. And BMW is quite proud of it as well. So proud that they even released a statement saying, "There is no user interface anywhere in the automotive industry that can be operated as simply and as safely as ours." The only comment that I have about this entire display is the menu by the right-hand corner. If you're new to the car, it does take a bit of getting used to because the options are actually quite confusing. I think you get the idea that this is a car of many firsts. It's also the first to feature a hexagonal steering wheel, which, if you ask me, it's a little big, but really nice to hold. What may not be nice to hold is the door pull for the front passenger. I've seen older BMWs with those kind of trims and they don't age very well. Over time, they start becoming sticky and they start peeling off, and it doesn't look very nice. Every time you enter the car, the air conditioning is already turned on. A very useful feature, but that's not all. The BMW iX is the first model to be offered with the option of surface heating on the dashboard, on the armrest, on the steering, and on the door panels to heat up the interior. The seats, whether in the front or back, are one of the most comfortable in any BMW I've ever been in. And these light strips by the door panel, they light up each time you lock the car or charge it, like cars you see in the Tron movie. Very cool. They can be split 40-20-40, and further back you get 500 litres of boot space. When you fold the seats flat, with a switch by the corner, you get even more space. As I'm sure you know, most cars don't even come with dual zone air conditioning for the entire cabin. But in this, like most top-end BMWs, come with dual zone air conditioning just for the back. Speaking of charging, doing it solely with a normal household 3-pin point is not going to charge the car fast enough for a full tank. When I charged the car on Saturday at 7 PM with about 150 km of range to go, the next day at 10 AM when I collected it, it was only charged enough to give me 280 km range. If I can describe to you how this car feels after driving it for just 2 days before shooting this video, I'd say it's like driving a newer BMW, one from the last 3 to 4 years, except in this, there's no noise, no sound, no vibration, and most importantly, no delay in acceleration. Oh! In fact, it doesn't even accelerate, it just slingshots forward. When you push it a little harder, it's also very BMW. Stable, composed, and engaging. You get about 425 kilometers of driving range on a full charge, but from my experience and observation with a couple of electric cars from before, I noticed the driving range in electric cars tend to drop a lot quicker than the driving range in purely petrol-powered cars, even with the exact same driving style. It's really comfortable when you're driving over bumps or on smaller roads at lower speeds, but when you're cruising, the ride just feels a tad too busy. You just feel just a little too much of that. It gets all the modern driving aids like autonomous emergency braking and auto high beam, but it also has one cool trick. When the energy recovery is in adaptive mode, the car is actually quite smart. When you're driving along on an empty road with no car in front of you, you can accelerate, lift off, and it just coasts. But if all of a sudden a car just cuts in front of you, or if you're approaching the back of a vehicle, the car actually gives a very strong sense of engine braking, holding the car back, slowing the car down. You can practically drive with one pedal with very minimal braking, especially while you're cruising on the highway. I'm guessing it does so by using the fancy radars and sensors hidden behind the front grille and on top here. That being said, don't take it for granted though. Don't expect it to come to a complete stop on its own, because it won't, as far as I have tried. And it does take a bit of getting used to, especially when you're quite new to the car. The engine braking feel, the car being held back, it's actually quite strong, especially in heavy traffic. So you end up going like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, after driving this for the last few days, I must say I kind of miss not having a bit of sound when I'm driving, but I also am okay with it not having an engine. Without an engine, you don't get the sound, but without an engine, you also don't get the vibrations. It's just so calm and serene. It's so easy to get used to. And honestly, compared to the Taycan, it's actually even more refined. In the Taycan, when you're just cruising along at low speed or high speed, you get a lot of noise coming from the road, but in this, it's just so quiet. The sensations are completely different between a car with an engine and a car without. With electric motors, yes, there's no sound, and as a result, perhaps less excitement, but I'm starting to accept that, at least with electric motors, acceleration is seamless and effortless. The reaction time is almost instant. There's very little to no delay in acceleration. Just press the throttle and it goes. I think that's one thing when I go back to my own 28-year-old car, which will feel like something from the Flintstone era. The other thing I'd like to discuss is the interior ambience, the interior feel. I would agree with you if you call it modern, contemporary, futuristic, minimalist, very open, very airy. Yes to all those. But luxurious? That one I'm not so sure. I mean, it's a BMW, and at about 370,000 ringgit on the road with SST exemptions and a 5-year warranty, I expect it to have something extra. I don't know of what, but more of that for the interior to really pop. Overall, I think it's a very practical car. Visibility is quite good and turning radius is not too bad considering its size. I like how open and airy the cabin feels, how effortless it is to drive, and top marks for performance. But in this country, cars like the iX are still luxury goods, and in that sense, I think it needs a little more to feel that way. So, why would you buy the BMW iX? Simple. If you're looking to experience an electric car for the first time and you want to enjoy the best of it in terms of practicality, comfort, spaciousness and performance even, all in an SUV package, I don't think there's anything better at the moment. Also because there isn't anything else at the moment. For more information on the new BMW iX, do log on to AutoBuzz.my. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for the latest notifications on our newest videos.